This should be working this time, cause oh wait, can I like not see my chat? Hang on. Sorry, it's technical. Can I have this separated from my OBS? Because I don't want to see my OBS. Like shrink this to the smallest size possible. I don't have to look at it, or does that mess up my live? Hang on. Technical difficulties. One moment. No, it's fine. Okay. I want this to be active, but I don't want this to be showing. That doesn't do anything. So if I minimize it, my chat disappears. I don't have it. I can't. Sorry, technical difficulties as my dumbass tries to figure this out because I can't seem to. Can I like move this down here? Okay, so then can I activate slide show at the same time? No. Oh damn. Okay. What? Does it have to be connected to this at all times? Because it's kind of stupid if it has to be. Testing something? See that? Yeah, it's connected. Then why is it when I click off, I can't see the chat at all? Bro, this is so stupid. Okay, just like disconnects it. Oh. Resources? Chat. So this makes like an extra window for the chat rather than... okay, I'll have to fuck with that later to see how to get that to work. So... we're just gonna leave it at that and just start the live because I'm too lazy to mess around with it. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and copy link. Then from there we're gonna go to Discord. I'm sharing my live. One moment. Where's self-promotion? There it is. Paste. Is live. At everyone, I can't spell. Everyone. One. Live. There we go. I'll send it to the, just to, those two. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna, so I can't see chat. However, I will be still doing the reading. So yeah. reading. This I can't spell. This is a 13 plus live. Plus live. 5. This is not made for a younger audience. View. No. Listener discretion is advised. We're gonna go ahead and pin that message. Okay, now we can start with the live. Okay, got the okay, we got the actually we okay, sorry, adjusting a lot of stuff. I am so sorry. Okay, I got the story stuff. None of this is real. If your discretion is advised. And let's have a extremely late Halloween special. I don't know, live. Yay. Okay, we're gonna be starting off with the posters. It's a very short, scary stories by Zoa Maryland, class 12, apparently. Good for you. There's nothing I love more than scary stories. The adrenaline, the rush of fear. If you know me, then you would know how much I love creepy tales, especially during sleepovers with my friends. What I enjoyed the most were the short collections that I collected on as a kid, and I thought it might be fun to share these stories with everyone until this day. Whenever I tell these stories, it never fails to impress. So here they are, 5 some of my favorite scary stories. Okay, this is the actual scary story bit. I apologize if I mispronounce anything. I am very dyslexic, so yeah. Anyway, first story is Who is in My Bed? Okay, pretty interesting start. Okay, who's in my bed? A father went to say goodnight to his 7-year-old son, very well knowing that if he didn't wait, I can't fucking read. One moment, I have to get one of those. Okay, I'll use a marker. Sorry, where was that? All right. Very well knowing that if he didn't, his son would have trouble sleeping. It was a nightly routine between them. He entered the dimly lit room where his son waited under his blanket. With the first glance of a father could tell, there was something unusual about his son tonight, but he couldn't put his finger on it. He looked the same, but had a grin that drew from ear to ear. "Are you okay, buddy?" the father asked. The son nodded, still with a grin, before saying, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." The father chuckled a bit before getting on his knees to check, only to satisfy his son. There, under the bed, pale and afraid, was his son, his real son. He whispered, "Daddy, there's someone on my bed." Okay. Interesting start to this. Of course, there's no one really commenting. Of course. Okay, moving on. This one is called The Cabin. Ooh, The Cabin. Okay, Cabin. Well, here's the next one. Next slide for this. Okay, yeah, that kind of gives cabin vibes, I guess. Okay, The Cabin. A hiker decided to go down on a hike by himself, something he was not very used to. The whole day was normal. Trees and bushes engulfed his surroundings. He enjoyed being outdoors in the mountains. Nothing seemed strange to him. That was until he was making his way back to his car. He figured an 8-hour hike was good enough. The sky was already getting dark, and he needed to get back fast. What was odd was how much he didn't realize the trail back. Oh, he didn't recognize the trail back. He began to panic. And I have already taken over, and all he had was a flashlight and had no clue on how to get back. He knew it was already too late and too dangerous to keep going through the perilous no, whatever, the gigantic forest was called that. Damn, I lost my marker. One moment. Oh yeah, lost the count to my marker. Hang on. Where'd it go? This is my only black marker, please. I need to. I lost my marker. Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. I know where it is. Still reach if I can. My toe. I'm sorry. I know this isn't part of the. Get my marker. Marker. Cap. Ow! I hit my head. All right. Got my marker cap. We're just gonna put it back on there. That never actually happened. funny time. Anyway, back to scary stories. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, whatever, big forest. He began to worry that he would have no shelter for the night when, when almost lucky enough, he stumbled across a broken down cabin. It was dark, and it seemed like no one had visited it in years, but he knew it was the only place where he could rest until daylight, especially since his flashlight was running out of battery. He knocked on the door a few times, but no one answered. So he let himself in, where strangely enough, a perfect bed fitted for one person awaited him. In the center, he knew that if the owner came back, he could explain himself. He was sure that the owner wouldn't mind, or was even probably dead. So he went ahead and got himself comfortable in bed as he tried to sleep. He couldn't ignore the collection of paintings around the room, portraits of strange people people all peering at him, each wearing a smile that sent chills up his spine. Not too long after, his exhaustion from the hike got the best of him, and he was able to ignore his faces. The next morning, he got up early and was shocked to see that there were no paintings around the room, but windows. Okay, that was actually kind of creepy. Like, they just watch you sleep. Wow. Okay. Pretty good story. What do you guys think of that? And there's literally no one on here. Okay, that's lovely. Whatever, they'll come and go as they please. I mean, that's a Friday night and there's no school. tomorrow, but whatever. I digress. And it's only been a few minutes. The lab has been going on for that long. Can't blame them too much. I guess you can have some like music playing on my headphones. I don't like complete no sound. I don't like it. Sorry. I know you guys don't have any sound, but I don't like. I just like hearing nothing. Anyway. Ooh, the red wristband. Okay. This is the next one called red wristband. We'll change it once again. That doesn't really fit the red wristband story, but whatever, it's fine. Bro, shut up, you useless computer. Anyway. Computer's acting like it's like running 5 things at once and you're not. Anyway, the red wristband. A doctor was working at a hospital where patients were tagged with color bands: green alive, red deceased. Fair enough. Or seems most logical. One night, the doctor was instructed to get a few supplies from the basement of the hospital. So he headed down the lift, or elevator, whatever you want to call it. The lift doors opened and there was a patient inside, minding her own business. Patients were allowed to roam around the hospital, to stretch, especially those who stayed long. The rule was to be back to the nurse before 10. Doctor smiled at the patient before pressing the number for the basement. He found it unusual that the woman didn't have a button already pressed. He wondered if she was heading down to the basement too. The lift finally reached the floor where the doors opened. In the distance, a man was limping towards the elevator in a panic. The doctor slammed the elevator button to close. When it finally did, the lift began to ascend back up. The doctor's heart was pounding. Why did you do that? He was trying to use the lift, the woman stated, annoyed. Did you see his wrist? The doctor asked. It was red. He died last night. I would know because I did his surgery. The woman lifted her wrist. He saw was red. She smiled. Like this one? Okay, that wasn't really that scary. It was like, huh. Interesting. They weren't really like scary. Okay, well. Can always be winners. That's fine. White with red. I'm gonna skim this one over. God, how long is this one? I know there's one that I loved. I don't think it's on this one though, unfortunately. Okay, we're gonna do yeah, we're gonna do white with red in all caps. Red as in the color. Okay. A man just moved to the apartment and heads to the reception to give his keys. The receptionist gave him the key with a smile, but warned him not to disturb the door with no number on his floor. He wondered why, but didn't bother to ask. He was too busy with his new apartment to care. After he finished unpacking, he began to get curious. He questioned why the receptionist would warn him of such things, and so he stopped out of his apartment to check the door with no number. He tried the doorknob first, but it was locked. So instead, he got onto his knees and peered into the keyhole. The apartment he was looking into was empty. His eyes scanned the whole apartment place before stopping at a woman, standing face against the wall in the corner. He had noticed her pale skin and long black hair before stepping back. He suddenly feeling perverted in a way for invading someone else's privacy. He brushed it off, assuming she was someone that did not want to be disturbed. Fair enough. God, let's see what dash chair. There we go. Okay, the next day, he got more curious about the woman and eventually went black. Straight away, getting onto his knees, he peered. Wait, did I read that right? Oh, I misread that. Sorry. Ugh. The next day, he got more curious about the woman and eventually went back. I misread that. Okay, anyway. Not black, it's back. Ugh. Okay, straight away, getting onto his knees, he peered through the keyhole and saw all red. Red. He assumed the woman. Wait, assumed that the pale woman must have caught him peeking last night, or last time. Or peeking the last time. God, I can't speak. And covered covered the hole with something red. He left the door alone, and instead went down to receptionist to ask her questions. The receptionist sighed and asked, "You looked through the keyhole, didn't you?" He admitted to it, and so she felt obligated to tell him the story. She told him that a couple used to live in that apartment long ago, but the husband went crazy and killed his wife. However, this couple wasn't normal. Ugh, I can't speak. This couple wasn't normal. They had pale skin, black hair, and red eyes. Hmm. So he saw a ghost, is what you're saying, right? Yeah, pale skin, long hair, yeah. So it wasn't really scary. Whatever. Doesn't really give much a description of like how, why did it turn red. It didn't really describe anything. Because it wasn't even shorter and doesn't really describe anything too. It was just kind of made out, hey, there's something down here. With that being said, a mother's call. Sorry, I got distracted. My bad. A mother's call. A daughter was in her room upstairs doing her homework when suddenly she heard her mother call to come down for dinner. Shut up, you useless PC. Okay. Come down for dinner. She jumped onto her feet and began making her way towards the stairs. But before even took a step, hands grabbed her and pulled her into the laundry room beside the staircase. She panicked before realizing it was her mother, her real mother. Eyes watery and bloodshot. Don't go down there, honey. I heard it too. Ooh, imposter. Okay. What's a crowd report? Oh, this is actually kind of a long one. Eh. What's this? I think it's just like a tour. Yeah, it's just like a Q&A thing. Okay, well, that's the first set of scary stories. And there's still surprisingly no one online. How is there no one online? Whatever. What was the most scary story ever? The jar? That sounds like something. Okay. Oh, what's the... What book is this? Copy. Paste. Oh, it's an actual book. Dude, the readings on this suck. It got a 2.9 out of 5. A 2.9 out of 5. That's how out of writer do you have to be to get a 2.5, a 2.9 out of 5? Oh, it's actually like 3.5 stars. There's a lot of 3 stars, but mostly just like some 1-star reviews. But it's actually a whole book, and I was like, yeah. Anyway, scary stories. I know there's one that I found a while ago that I loved. And I can't remember where it was. Is it this one? Might have been. Again, there was one I liked, and it was actually pretty creepy. No. Jesus! There's only someone actually made it that, right? Oh gosh. Okay, this is either a dog or like a fake dog. It wasn't actually a dog, though. Exorcist, yeah, okay. Scary stories to tell. Okay, just go with that. Okay, let's try this. Pretty sure this is where I found the last one. God, some of these are fucking long. Okay, no. Wanna say it was this one? Try to remember where I found the last one at. It was like a short story, but it was still decently good, to be honest. Sure it was. Yeah, this is a. Oh, it's the book. Alright, I don't want that one. Short. Okay. Was it this one? Might have been this one. Was this? Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, found it. Okay, this is called The Puppy in the Basement. My personal favorite. Listen, I forgot what I put as the next one. And this one I give out the vibes. I'll stick with this one then. My PC will load it again. PC? PC! Oh yeah, fine. Be that way. Yeah, we'll just go with this one. Doesn't match the theme, but we'll just go with the pumpkins. The pumpkins look cool. Okay. This is a short ghost story I found on Reddit. Super creepy. Okay. My personal favorites, to be honest. I actually kind of like this one. Okay. Mommy told me to never go in the basement, but I wanted to see what was making the noise. They're making that noise. It kind of sounded like a puppy, and I wanted to see the puppy. So I opened the basement door and tiptoed down a bit. I didn't see a puppy. And then Mommy yanked me out of the basement and yelled at me. Mommy had never yelled at me before. It made me sad and I cried. Then Mommy told me to never go into the basement again. And she gave me a cookie that made me feel better. So I didn't ask her why the boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy, or why he had no hands or feet. Alright, pretty good. Ow, I knocked over something. Yeah, pretty good story, to be honest. Okay. Jeez, some of these are actually long. That was another one I also liked. Hmm. Can I not, like, read this? And I want books were written, though. Okay, we're gonna read. Okay, we're gonna read The Chair. This is slightly long, but it's not too bad. Shut up, computer! You're not even that warm. Okay. The Chair. My sister Betsy and I were kids. Our family lived for a while in a charming old farmhouse. We loved exploring its dusty corners and climbing up the apple tree in the backyard. But our favorite thing was the ghost. We called her Mother because she seemed so kind and nurturing. Some things Betsy and I would wake up, and I would wake up, and on each of our nightstands, we find a cup that hadn't been there before. Mother had left them there. Worried that we might get thirsty in the night, she just wanted to take care of us. Among the home's original furnishings was an antique wooden chair we kept against the back wall of the living room. Whenever we were preoccupied watching TV or playing video games, Mother would inch the chair forward across the room towards us. Sometimes she managed to move it all the way to the center of the room. We always felt sad putting it back against the wall. Mother just wanted to hear us, or to be near us. God, I can't fucking speak tonight. Jeez. Let's see. Ah, here we go. Yes, years later, long after we moved out, I found an old newspaper article about the farmhouse original comprehend occupant whatever original owner, a widow. She murdered her two children by giving them each a cup of poison milk before bed. Then she hung herself. The article included a photo of the farmhouse living room with a woman's body hanging from a beam. Beneath her, knocked over, was that old wooden chair precisely in the center of the room. Did it get colder in here, or is it just me? Wow. Here I thought this thing was gonna be wholesome. I guess I was wrong. And there's still literally no one watching. How long? Like maybe a couple minutes? Oh, I've been like 30 minutes. That's I think that's like being slow, because like is no one on, like is no one actually watching it? It's literally not even that late and no one's watching. Oh, okay, now it says two people watching. I don't know. Could be two people. Who knows? Anyway. Excuse me. It's literally a Friday. No one's home. Oopie. Oh, finally! Yay! If you're a college student, that's your username in Discord. If you're in the chat, that'd be nice to see. Oh, you know, there's more people! Hooray! Finally, I'm not dead! Woohoo! Alright, this is the next story, which I can't find it now. Was it this one? Yeah. This one's called. Yeah, why does that chair so damn squeaky? Okay, anyway, this one's called The Ghost at Home. And one of my favorite short ghost stories. Oh wait, no, that's just a summary. Sorry, my bad. Not my fault. my bad. This is actually really short. Last night, a friend rushed me out of the house to catch the opening act at a local bar's music night. After a few drinks, I realized my phone wasn't in my pocket. I checked the table where, sitting at the bar, the bathrooms, and after no luck, I used my friend's phone to call mine. After 2 rings, someone answered, gave a low raspy jingle, and hung up. They didn't answer again. I eventually gave up as it was a lost cause and headed home. I found my phone laying on the nightstand right where I left it. That wasn't really a... That wasn't really a horror story. That was mostly... Well, I guess the raspy giggle was kind of just there. Alright then. Not really what I was expecting for a horror. Chat is not working, there's no one posting. Whatever, it works. Okay. Let's see who next, or what next. Let me see. Find. There aren't really much good ones nowadays. Let's see what's on here. Okay, I guess we'll do. Really. Is this even a horror story? Hang on, let me skim over it. Okay, it's actually a really, this is actually a legitimate horror story. Okay. Okay, it's actually kind of really short stories. Horror stories. Like this one's called Border Crossing. There was a couple from Texas who, Texas on the Mexican border. Okay. There was a couple from Texas who was planning a weekend trip across the Mexican border for a shopping spree. Interesting place to go, but okay. At the last minute, the race were canceled, so they had to bring along their 2-year-old son with them. They had been crossed the border for an hour when the boy got free and ran around a corner. The mother tried to find him, but he was missing. The mother found a police officer who told her to go to the gate and wait. Not really understanding the instructions, she did what she was told. About 45 minutes later, a Mexican man approached the border carrying the boy. The mother ran to him. Grateful that he had been found, when the man realized it was the boy's mother. He dropped him and ran. The police were waiting for him. The boy was dead. And in the 45 minutes he was missing, he had been cut open, all of his organs removed, and stuffed with bags of cocaine. The man was going to carry him across the border as if he were asleep. That's just messed up rather than a horror story. It's just messed up. Like, what? Oh, it's just so messed up. It's just all around messed up. Just generally messed up. Like, dear God. That's just so messed up. Yeah, well, I actually kind of like that Victor. We're gonna be on this one for a while. Okay, this one is also really short, but it's called, am I reading this right? Statues? This one I actually heard of a few times because I'm pretty sure it's been on YouTube Shorts or TikTok for. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me once again. a few times. A few years ago, a mother and father decided they needed a break. So so they wanted to head out for a night on the town. They called their most trusted babysitter. When the babysitter arrived, the two children were already fast asleep in bed. So the babysitter just got to sit around and make sure everything was okay with the children. Later that night, the babysitter got bored and went to watch TV. But she couldn't watch it downstairs because they didn't want. Wait. I remember reading this. Later that night, the babysitter got bored and went to watch TV. But she couldn't watch it downstairs because they did not have cable downstairs. Apparently, they want. Okay. The parents didn't want children watching too much garbage. Fair enough. So she called them and asked if she could watch cable in the parents' room. Of course, the parents said it was okay. But the babysitter had one final request. She asked if she could cover up the clown statue in the corner of the room with a blanket or cloth because it freaked her out. The line was silent for a moment, and the father, who was talking to the babysitter at the time, said, "Take the children and get out of the house. We'll call the police. We don't have a clown statue." My question is, how did the clown get into the house? Like, how did the clown get in the house without being noticed? That's the real question. It's the real unanswered question, is how did he get in without being noticed? Anyway. God, this thing's up and slow. And of course there's still no comments. Okay. Oh, lovely. I pull my OBS and see if there's actually anyone commenting, or is it just me going insane? Oh, literally no one has commented. Wow. It's not even a school day or night and no one's watching. Okay, well, whatever. They're lost, I guess. Yeah. Well, it's cool for. I guess they're all busy watching brain rot. Like an AI playing Roblox. That's already probably pre-recorded. And then, like, someone, just an AI sleeping on a microphone and having Roblox play in the background where they just dance and do nothing for a while. Yeah, that's very entertaining. Yeah, very. Watch real content. Whatever. I swear this algorithm's broken nowadays. How am I supposed to get any kind of thing with any of this? Anyway. Oh, it's actually kind of long. Oh, no. Wait, is this one short? Yeah, it's actually pretty short. Okay. Hmm. Let's do. Say whole paragraph? Alright, this one is called The Hook. The reporters have been on the radio all day. Though she hadn't paid much attention to them, some crazy man had escaped from the state asylum. They were calling him the Hook Man, since he lost his right arm and had it replaced with a hook. Interesting choice. He was a killer, and everyone in the region was warned to keep watch and report anything suspicious. This didn't interest her. She was more worried about what to wear on her date. Yeah, psycho killer on the loose. You're more worried about your date? Okay. After several conclusions calls with her friends, she chose a blue outfit in a very latest style, and she was ready. And she was waiting on the porch when her boyfriend came pick her up in his car. They went to a drive-in movie with another couple, then dropped them off and went parking in the locals' lovers lane. The blue outfit was hit, and she cuddled close to her boyfriend as they kissed to the sound of romantic music on the radio. The announcer came on and repeated the warning she had heard in the afternoon. An insane killer with a hook placed of his right hand was loose in the area. With a hook in place of his right hand was loose in the okay. Suddenly, the dark, moonless night didn't seem so romantic to her. The lover's lane was secluded off the beaten track, a perfect spot for a deranged madman to lurk. She thought, pushing her enormous boyfriend away. Maybe you should get out of here, she said. The hookman sounds dangerous. It sounds dangerous? I'm sorry. It was literally described that he was a killer and is in your area? Yeah, you should run for the fucking hills. Anyway. Oh, come on, babe. It's nothing, her boyfriend said, trying to get in another kiss. She pushed him away again. No, really, we're not here. I'm scared, she said. They argue for a moment. The car shook a bit, as if something or someone had touched it. She gave a shriek and said, "Get us out of here now." Her boyfriend said in disgust. Her boyfriend said in disgust. But he turned the key and went roaring off Lover's Lane with the screech of his tires. They drove home in stony silence, and when they pulled into her driveway, he refused to help her out of the car, and he was being so reasonable. She fumed to herself. She opened the door derangedly, upset, and stepped into her driveway. With her chin up and her lips set. Jesus, 5 ads? Okay, whatever. Okay. Chin up and lips set. Whirling around, she slammed the door as hard as she could. Then she screamed. Oh. Good. And then she screamed. Her boyfriend leaped out of the car and caught her in his arms. "What is it? What's wrong?" he shouted. And then he saw it. Oh, okay. I misread that completely. Oh, God. Okay. Her boyfriend leaped out of the car and caught her in her arms. "What is it? What's wrong?" he shouted. Then he saw it. A bloody hook fang from the handle of the passenger side door. Oh, that's not good. Passenger side door. So he was there. Okay. Damn, if he was getting out of there sooner, they would have probably been dead. Alright, this next one is called... There's no other name to this. It's named IDK. Oh, alright then. Jenny smiled at the woman sitting across from her at the airport. "Your first trip?" She shook her head. "Just for Amy." Oh, yeah, Amy. Make sure during his army it's Amy. The woman nodded towards the stroller parked in the front of her. "She's a good baby. She never makes any noise." Jenny smiled, thinking about how Scott likes healthy white babies. Cannibal. Okay, this is getting weird. She thought she would snatch the baby while her mother was away. The woman said, "I have to use the restroom. Will Will you mind watching my baby for me? Jenny said sure. The woman smiled. The woman left and Jenny ran with the stroller. When Jenny got outside her landed her for a taxi. When the car pulled, she got inside, left the stroller, and closed the door. She took the baby with her. It was in some blankets. Jenny stood at the baby. Looked at the baby and gasped. Its eye sockets were empty. Her skin was shriveled. Jenny asked the cab if she could leave Amy in the cab for a few minutes while she ran some errands. It's like it was just titled, I don't know. And it's just like the entire thing. Alright then. I guess our cannibals they wanted the thing, but it's already shriveled up and dead. Okay then. Alright, what do you guys think of that one? Okay, I don't know if anyone's actually commenting. Bro, this is the most uneventful live I've ever had. Like, literally, no one's online. And it's only been like almost an hour and no one has commented. How? Physically, how is this possible? It's a Friday night, no one's even at school. Because it's currently, well, theater strike. How is no one online? Like, how? What? I'm confused. What? How is literally no one online? Okay, I'm gonna send this live to another Discord server and get someone on here, because this is like really sad. There's no one here. Yeah, make sure it's on the right server, because I don't want to send it twice. Is social media work? I am live if anyone is interested. Paste. Oh, I need to. I need to copy my link. I forgot I copied something else. I need to copy my link again. 1 second. What is that? Okay, maybe just share, copy. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's do some more reading. Okay, this one's called Drip, Drip, Drip. One night at 2 a.m., Lucy woke up to strange noises coming from somewhere in the house. Drip, drip, drip. She thought it was probably something, or probably nothing, so she tried to go back to sleep. After half an hour, she woke up again. Drip, drip, drip. She decided to find out where the noise was coming from. She tiptoed around and noticed all noises were coming from the bathroom. Ah, she whispered to herself. Come from the tap in the bathroom. She decided not to turn on the lights, felt around for the tap. She turned the handle, but noticed it was already tightly turned off. Turned off. That's odd, she whispered. Then she heard a noise coming from the corner of the bathroom and ran upstairs, back to her bed. Another half an hour, she woke up once again. Drip, drip, drip. She was getting frustrated now, so she marched down to the bathroom, turned on the light, and screamed. Her parents were hanging dead from the ceiling, blood dripping onto the floor. On the wall was a message written in blood. You should have turned on the lights. Okay, that was a story. This is in there when. Can I even legally say this name? It's it's not like a bad guy's name. It's not. It's a thing that no one should ever do themselves ever. I'm gonna censor it just to be safe because you never know with YouTube allegations now. With YouTube nowadays. So we're gonna call it. Even though I don't get paid for any of this, I'm just gonna still censor it to be nice. It's offlining yourself from God's Minecraft server. Yeah, there we go. You're logging off of God's Minecraft server permanently. Okay, there's that. That's just the story of the title. Or title of the story. Ugh, dyslexia. Anyway. Excuse me. One day a man got up for work. He got all washed up and put on his best tie. When he walked out the door and started to get to his car, the unimaginable happened. Well, maybe not completely unimaginable, just moderately shocking, I suppose. But as I was saying, as he started to get to his car, the moderately shocking happened. All of a sudden, he felt a shock across his body, and his left arm went numb. He dipped his head and looked at the ground. What he saw was a puddle of dark-colored liquid. He thought it was from his car, so he continued to get in. When he reached in pocket for his keys, he couldn't. All that remained of his arm was the rag of his sleeve and a bloody mess of bone and flesh. He realized what had happened to him. He looked out from the windshield, and in front of his car was fire. He turned around and saw the back half of his car was also gone. He turned around a lot. He turned around and saw a huge scar on the ground where he was standing just a minute ago. He felt a wash of pain engulf his body, and everything went black. The police determined this event as leaving God's Minecraft server. A man had lost all purpose in life and had become an alcoholic. He had placed explosives, carnage under his car, and have gotten them to do his blood alcohol level, and had forgotten due to his blood alcohol level. The incredibly drunk and was intentionally drunk. He had died in the secondary explosion caused by the car's engine combusting. The Austin PD are glad to state that no other people were hurt. Damn, that's actually pretty. It's actually pretty dark. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually pretty dark for a story. Good. Okay, I'm trying to get my. Sorry, give me a second, guys. Just one moment. I think I have my sweatshirt. I got too warm, so I just took off my sweatshirt. Okay. Took it for my long sleeves in a heated house. Anyway. Okay, this one's actually. Oh, okay. This one's actually pretty long. Okay, we got two options here, so it'll probably be the last one for the night. Because how long has this live been going for? my yeah, let's see off my phone. That's what I'm reading on. How long has this live been going on for? About like an hour, 9 minutes, I want to say. I'm kind of guesstimating here. An hour ago. I should be still live. Yeah. Let's see. How long have I been alive? Yeah, about an hour. Alright, it's not too bad. Alright, I guess we'll, finish off the story with this one. It doesn't really have his title, so we'll call it, it doesn't have a title at all. So, I don't know what to call it, but we're just gonna call it, I don't know, Mario. There. I always liked Super Mario 64 when I was a kid. I remember playing it at my aunt's house all the time. One day, a pop-up appeared out of nowhere. I was watching gameplay of the footage on YouTube. I was a little startled and was about to close the window until I realized that it was a website showing a mint condition copy of Super Mario 64 for sale. There's a picture and everything. I usually don't trust these things, but the feeling of nostalgia overpowered me, and I wanted to buy it. The whole business was peculiar, and seeing how the owner of the game wanted the buyer to send an envelope containing $10 and enter some site instead of using PayPal. Something like PayPal. Oh, I can't speak. Or read, sorry. What made things even more strange was that when I tried to gain access to the website, I wrote down the URL. After counting browse the game, the page was nowhere to be found. After a few days, the $10 I mailed, I got the package in the mail. I got the package containing a new copy of the game. The first thing I noticed when I opened the mailbox was the official sticker. Mario flying in the air was apparently peeled off or something. In place was a duct tape with Mario crudely written on a permanent marker. I felt a little ripped off, but as long as the game worked, I didn't care. Sorry, it's late where I am. Anyway. I didn't care. Okay. When I got out my Nintendo 64 and put the cartridge in, the screen turned on with a familiar Mario face that you could stretch and twist aimlessly. I remember laughing all the time at the results as a kid. I could decide to mess around for old time's sake. I moved the cursor over the Mario ear and pulled it to 11 positions. I was doing the same thing with the other ear when the TV suddenly produced loud static. Mario's whole head started deforming and twisting in ways that I don't even know were possible for a model. Random sound effects from the game started playing along the static. As all this was occurring, I could hear a faint voice whispering Japanese. The voice was stammering and whispering. Ooh, I got chills from that for some reason. I immediately shut off the game and tried again. I didn't bother with the Mario this time. I just selected a new file and started playing. When I selected the file, the game skipped the opening monologue with Peach and the courtyard outside. Mario was just placed in front right of the castle. Creepier still, Bowser didn't say anything either. I tried to ignore it and play anyway. However, I noticed there was no music, just dead silence. There wasn't any toads around to talk to. The only door I could enter was Bob Boom Battlefield, so I guess that's one bombs. I'm guessing. The doors wouldn't even respond to my button commands. The portrait to Bomb Battlefield wasn't the usual picture. It was just a stark white canvas. I started to convince myself that these were just minor glitches, and that they couldn't affect the gameplay at all. Once I entered the portrait, the image suddenly went blank. Went blank. Went from a blank canvas to the lethal lava land painting. You know that slight unsettling image of flames with the evil smile? Yeah, that's when I got feeling something was really suspicious. I'll copy this so I can look it up later. And just painting. I'll copy that for later. Anyway. The mission select menu came up. Yet another weird detail was present instead of big bomb Bob Bomb. I can never pronounce that right. I'm so sorry. Let's call him King Boom. Okay, King Boom. Big King Boom on the back of the submarine. The mission was called Turn Back. I have no idea what drove me to press A, but I did. The level seemed normal. Everything was how I remember it. Sorry, it's late once again. Change the background. Yeah, I know, press escape. It's not really horror-like, but whatever, it'll work. As I go back. Bro, this thing fucking sucks. Sorry, man. We'll do the skeletons again. I think it's funny. we'll do little skeletons, because I think the skeletons look pretty cool. Anyway. Sorry, okay. Right, the level seemed normal. Everything was how I remember it. Though I could finally enjoy my favorite childhood game. But then I saw Luigi. I was absolutely shocked. He was never in the game. Oh, in this game. His model wasn't even Mario. His model wasn't even Mario palette swapped. He looked like a completely original model. Luigi just stood there until I tried to approach him. He started running at unexpected speeds. I followed suit and went through the level. Strange things happened as I pursued him. Each time I picked up a coin, the enemies and the music got slower. The scenery would look dark in color and more morbid. I kept gradually getting worse until I collected a fifth coin. Excuse me. Slower scenery. Yeah. Okay, one more. I kept gradually getting getting worse until I collected the fifth coin. Music stopped. Yeah. And the enemies lay down on the ground like they were dead. I was seriously freaked out, but I kept chasing Luigi. Okay. I went up the hill. No cannonballs rolled down, trying to knock me over. I wasn't really surprised at this point. Luigi was always just out of my sight as I ran. Once I reached the summit, I saw yet another object in a place. A small cottage. Oh, I misread that. Was all that was seen on the top of the hill. Luigi was nowhere to be found. The cottage was plain as. Oh, the cottage was certainly odd looking for a Mario game. It was old, plain, and broken down. Regardless of all my fears at the moment, I had Mario enter the cottage. Bro, how long is this? There's so many damn here. There's so many damn things. There's such a long thing. As soon as the door closed, a disturbing picture of Luigi hanged immediately popped up along every frightening scarcord? Whatever. It sounded like a violin screech accompanied by a loud piano banging. Mario fell to his knees and sobbed for roughly 5 minutes. And then the screen irised out. It's foggy outside. That's not concerning whatsoever. Anyway. Okay. I returned to the castle. Mario just slumped out of the painting. The image switched from the lethal lava land portrait to the image of Luigi hanging himself. Oh God. That got dark. The room was different this time. It was now a small hallway, toes with blanket cushions and white robes lined on the sides of the hallway. There was another painting on the opposite end that just completely utterly scared me. It was a picture of my family. Jeez, it wasn't even a photo from the time Super Mario was released. Super Mario 64 was released. It was a very, very recent photo. I remember posting it from last weekend. You should really switch out the game and burn it. Burn that game. Burn it. Burn it. Anyway, I reached for the on-off switch on the N64. There was no way I was going to play this game anymore. However, when I flipped the switch, the game was still on. Flipped it back and forth, but still no avail. I tried unplugging the whole system, but never lit the screen. Flip back and forth, no avail. I tried unplugging it. Yeah, okay. The screen was left. I was even still able to keep control of Mario. I could just leave it on forever, so I kept playing. I couldn't leave it on forever, so I kept playing. I went into the photo of my family and jumped in. One mission was available, of course. The mission was called Run, Don't Walk. I selected the mission. Let's go. That's... Jeez. The historical this epic fantasy. God. Water. Okay. Okay. Level started floating in the hallway with platforms floating on the water. Mario landed on one of these, and the camera turned to show what was behind. A silent black void was slowly approaching Mario. It didn't look like anything but anything. It didn't even look like finished graphics. It was just a giant blocky black blob. I started jumping from platform to platform with no goal in sight, kept running, darkness slowly but surely gaining speed. This kept going for what felt like hours. I was really doubting there was any ever way to end and Mario was just going in circles. Finally, the black blob boy thing caught up to Mario and engulfed him in darkness. He didn't scream or resist at all, just consumed him. Ow, I hit my wrist on my desk. Anyway, Mario fell out of the painting and back into the castle. I lost one of my 3 lives. The room was different now. Some tilts were gone, the painting looked different. My family and I were in the same positions, but our bodies were partly decomposed. Sorry, that's also something weird. My mind was playing tricks on me, I'm sorry. It's been a long period, one moment. There. Let's see, what was I? Oh, yeah. Where was? For now, some tuts. Alright. Was I? Oh, yeah. Because it looked too rude to be photoshopped. It looked more like someone just took our bodies, our dead bodies, and posed them. Okay, regardless, I jumped to the painting again, where I was in a small room. God, how long is this? Small room. There was still only one mission available. It was called on my ear. Spelt just like that. I selected the mission and prepared for the worst. Mara landed in a small, dark room. There was no visible way out. The room was empty except for the piano cover. I knew what it meant. I was stuck in here, the Mario with the mad piano. I approached it and it started chasing me, as always. There's no way I could damage it, so I had no choice but to let Mario take damage. When he lost all his health, the usual death animation didn't happen. Mario just got mauled by the piano. He fell as blood and got spilled over the floor. The camera panned to the top down of his corpse. Jeez, this is getting disturbing. Anyway, I like it though, because I'm into horror. Anyway, a distorted version of the merry-go-round music from Big Boo's Haunted played as the screen slowly transitioned from the in-game shot of the photorealistic sketch of Mario's dead body. In the same view as the shot, it was very unsettling. I was crying softly as I gazed upon the image all in our life. The photo of my family was shown again. We were even more rotten than before. The view zoomed into the painting like I'm gonna change my music, hang on. Anyway. Oh, through the okay. The view zoomed into the painting like it was warped again. I was greeted with a shot of Peach's castle from the outside. The castle was crumbling in ruin. The field was on fire. The sky was pitch black. Bowser's laugh played on loop in the background as children mockingly chanted, "You couldn't save her." Okay, interesting. This went on for a long time until a close-up of Peach's face, who, accompanied by a loud screech, interrupted the loop. Without notice, Peach's mouth was wide open, as if screaming. Her eyes were empty black holes. Jesus. Okay, let's see here. Suddenly, I was in a black hallway as Mario was once again. Okay, we're up to the end. Okay, again, checked out the painting. Now all the toads were gone. Me and my family looked viscerally resolved or repulsive. Ugh. Okay, bug warning. Maggots were crawling around the holes in our flesh, guts spilling out of our bodies. My dad's eyeball was hanging loose from his socket. It was too much to bear, but something still urged me to try on, and I jumped into the painting. With my one life remaining. Jeez, I cannot speak tonight. This time, there was no name for the mission, just a blank space where the title used to be. I selected the mission, and Mario landed in a very small island in the middle of the ocean. There was a solitary sign? Solitary sign? I want to say this right. It only read dive. I didn't just, as it said, I entered the water. And entered the water. The ocean was dark and empty. There was no fish. I wasn't even able to see anything in the water besides Mario. I swam downwards. I kept going for quite some time. Yet Mario never ran out of breath. I counted roughly 10 minutes of swimming. I counted roughly 10 minutes of swimming until I decided to go back up. As I turned Mario around, it came a huge, and I mean huge. Come on, he's starting playing tricks on me. Hang on. Just there. Sorry, my husband's playing tricks on me a lot. I decided to go back up. Okay, yeah. It came a huge, and I mean huge, Eucani is an eel? Nice to pronounce it? I don't know, some kind of eel in Mario. Came out of nowhere and swallowed a Mario whole. I was dumbfounded. It went by so fast, I wasn't sure what it was. The game over screen didn't show up at all. All that happened was a fade out. The family photo. Oh, the photo of my family and I was shown again. There were plain skeletons now once again. It looked very real, very real. I couldn't move the camera at all to stay focused on the picture. I shut off the game and turned it on once again. I chose my file, but I went back to the skeleton photo of my family. I tried this about 3 times before I gave up. I just really wanted to stop, but some force kept me from walking away. I decided to select the only other file. The only other saved file. The camera once again focused on the skeleton picture, but this time they were in position as if they were a different family. Huh. Jesus, that took a while to read. But it's still kind of disappointing, like no explanation of why this happened, like what all happened. It's also a Zelda one, but this is extremely long, and I don't know anything about Zelda. I wish it had a bit more to it. But overall, it was a pretty good one. I've seen a previous fan play this and like something else happened in a similar way, I'm guessing. But, it's pretty late. It's almost damn near midnight where I am. So, we're gonna end this live here. I hope you guys got a pretty good scare if you're, again, into scaring. Hope you all enjoyed this kind of scary stream. Even though literally no one's commented ever. This entire time. time in live. My longest, I think my new longest live. I'm pretty sure if I were to check my lives. Here's my new like longest live and no one fucking joined. Sad, but whatever. It happens. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this live, even if literally no one watched. But it's okay. See you guys in the next one.